Okay, so having just completed step 11, I've taken a screenshot of my CSS file, and that is now in my evidence document just here. So I can now move on, and step 12 is where I've been asked to think about my theory knowledge in one of my practical assessments, and it says, a website is tested before it's uploaded to the internet. Hyperlinks will be tested as part of the test strategy. List 4 questions, in your own words, that could be used within the test plan to test these hyperlinks. And then we're going to type these list of questions into our evidence document under evidence 2. So if I go to my Word document, my evidence document, and I go to evidence 2, I need to think of 4 questions that I'm going to consider for my hyperlinks. So the first thing that I'm going to question is, does the hyperlink itself, the image or the text, tell me where to click or what I'm clicking on? So for example, is the icon for the contact us a relevant image? Okay, so is the text or image with the hyperlink a relevant content? E.g. Okay, the next thing I'm going to ask as part of my test plan is, where should the image take you to? So where should the destination be? Where should the destination for the hyperlink be? And then I'm going to see, when clicked, does the hyperlink take me to that particular destination? So when clicked, does where does the actual hyperlink take me? Okay, so when clicked, where does the hyperlink take the user? And the last one I'm going to ask is for cases where the hyperlink is, for example, an email, is when clicked, does the email software provide the user with a subject line, as with the email hyperlink that we previously typed in? Okay, so we have 4 questions. Is the text or image with the hyperlink relevant content for the hyperlink, e.g. click here? Where should the destination for the hyperlink be? When clicked, where does the hyperlink take the user? And when clicked for an email hyperlink, does the link provide the user with a subject line? 4 relevant questions for a test plan. So moving straight on to evidence 3 in the instruction, I'm now told that I should display the web page in my browser. And if necessary, resize it so that all the page can be seen, all the text can be read, and the address bar is visible. Take a single screenshot of the browser window and place this in my evidence document. So I'm now going to take my web page, and I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Real-Time Preview, and I'm going to preview it in Google Chrome. Now in Google Chrome, I can see my web page, and it said that the whole page should be visible in a single screenshot. So if I need to zoom out, I can Control and minus, and this will enable the screen to zoom out. I can actually also go to the little 3 lines here and use the zoom button so that I can see the whole page. And here it is, the bar, the text, all the way down to the previous, to the last cell of my text. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a print screen of that, function and F11 for print screen, close the bar, and straight into my evidence document. And evidence number 3, I'm going to Control and paste. So there's my working website. The last section says for evidence 4, take a copy of the HTML source and place this in your evidence document. So I'm going to jump back to Dreamweaver. I'm going to highlight the whole of my HTML source here, which is quite a lot. Control and C to copy, back into my evidence document, and I'm going to paste my HTML source just there. And remember, at the end, you can highlight sections of the HTML that you have edited, but if you want to do it just here, it's just as easy to do it directly in your Word document. So, for example, we added the CSS style, so I can highlight that line. We changed the table with the border, the alignment, and the width. We added the height of the table. We added the image. We added the text with the H1 tag. And we changed the height of that column. We changed the height of this one as well, and we added the text to it. Images here with alt text. The AH reference, which was the email hyperlink. This is not a requirement, okay? It is simply stated in the text that you are entitled to. So if you have time at the end, go through and do this. Don't worry about it if you're pushed for time, okay? It's not a requirement, but it sometimes does help to point out to the examiner in case some of your code might be in the wrong place, but you want to still be credited for certain marks. It's useful to point out to them what you've actually done. So that's fine. Okay, so moving on. I'm now asked to open the style sheet M17SS again, which is just here for me. And I'm asked to replace the background image with the image M17BG2. So here's my image here, M17BG1, and I can just simply change the file type, okay? Or I can delete that line of code, and I can go back to my source, and I'm changing the body tag, the background, and the background image. Find the file, and this time selecting BG image 2. Press OK, and it will jump back again. And then it asks me to save this style sheet in the M17 HTML folder, refresh the web page in the browser, and again take a screenshot showing all the page on one screen. So Control and S to save the style sheet, back into my HTML, and now I can see that the background has changed to the little model of the elephant file, real-time preview in Google Chrome. If I need to, I can zoom out, but I can see that that appears to be fully visible, so it must have saved my preference of the design earlier. So I can function an F11 to take a screenshot into Word, and then I can paste my screenshot. Okay, the last step that it asks me to do at this stage is to evaluate in my own words the change of background image. Type your evaluation into your evidence document using no more than 100 words. And looking at the two previous images, this one and this one, what I would say is that as an image, this the tiles are so small that I wouldn't be able to know what this is. But because it is such an unobtrusive, such a plain image, it actually makes the text quite easy to read and stand out. Whereas this one, it's very easy to see what it is, but it detracts from the actual content of the page, which makes reading the page a little bit more difficult and more complicated to do. So under step 6, I'm going to justify that in my own words in less than 100 words. So as we come back to the next stage of the tutorial, we'll have that done, and then we will be able to move on to the next step, which is into task 3, the spreadsheet.